mineral called magnetite. So do you hear a certain word in that?
Magnetism.
Alright, so magnet. Magnet is magnetite. So we're going to learn about magnetism today. God created a substance called magnetite with a magnetic force. Certain metals, such as iron, are attracted to it. A magnet works because of its magnetic field. You cannot see a magnetic field just by looking at a magnet, but there are ways to observe its effects. A magnet has, read that word with me, polarity. Oh, we forgot to read the terms to remember. Okay, let's finish this page and we'll go back and read the terms to remember. That means it has two opposite sides that work differently called poles. And this is like not like the North Pole and the South Pole. It's a little bit different from that, although they do get their name from that because the Earth is one giant magnet. Did you know that? Every magnet has a North Pole and a South Pole. The force of a magnet flows from the North Pole to the South Pole. That is why the magnet's force is strongest at its poles. If you have ever played with two magnets, you may have noticed that they can both push and pull. This is because the opposite poles pull together or attract, and like poles push away or repel. A magnet can attract the opposite side of another magnet. Do you remember what metal can also be attracted by a magnet? What would they say? What metal?
Iron filings.
Iron. Iron can be attracted. Things that can be pulled by a magnet are called magnetic. Alright, let's go back and read the terms to remember. Polarity. Having two opposite sides or poles that work differently. Attract, to pull together. Repel, to push apart. Magnetic, pulled by a magnet. Alright, so I have my two magnets up here, alright, and if we put them together, these two attract. So that means those are the, what poles?
North and
Opposite.
south.
Yeah, they are the opposite poles. But if I were to take them apart and turn them so that this one is facing the other way, now watch.
Repel.
I cannot make them go together. They just don't want to go together. They just keep moving one way or the other just so they can't touch each other. So those are like poles and they repel or push against each other. And if you guys have magnets, since we're not allowed to let everybody touch everything, if you guys have magnets, you should do that. You should see where you can make them repel or not want to go together and where you can, and that way they just very quickly want to go together. Alright, how many of you have ever had one of those little games where you have a little magnet and you have those iron filings and you make faces? Okay, I would like to get one from the classroom sometime, but I never thought about that. But if you had one of those games that is a magnet moving iron filings, we learned that iron filings would be magnetic. Alright, look at the fun facts. If electric energy and the force of a magnet can be combined, an even more powerful magnet called an electromagnet can be made. So in other words, they used the force of electricity and the force of a magnet and combined it to make an electromagnet because it has electricity. It uses electricity. And do you see how it can pick up really heavy objects?
Yep.
And they would use that like at a place where they are doing scrap cars, right? To pick up the big cars.
Yes.
Alright, turn the page. On the next page, it says circle the pictures of objects that are magnetic. Alright, so that first thing that has an N and an S, what do you think that is?
A magnet.
So a magnet is definitely going to be magnetic.
Magnet.
What about paperclip?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, what about the tool? The
No. Maybe.
No.
That is what it's
Yeah.
made out of.
If it's a toy one, no, but if it's your dad's, yes, definitely your dad's. The flower.
No.
The nail.
Yes.
The balloon.
Sometimes not.
No. Most of the time, yes, though, on the nail. The horseshoe.
Yes.
And the block.
No.
Okay? So we could walk around the room searching for things in here that are magnetic, and we may do that after I finish reading to you. Let's finish it up. God designed and created an orderly universe. He gave it energy sources and laws of nature so that forces could work the way they do. He created everything you can see as well as the things you can't. force of magnetism. We can see the results of magnetism, but can we see the force? Do we see, like in the picture, they showed us those poles radiating out? No, we can't see it, but it's there. We can do it. When we do this, we can tell it, right?
You can kind of feel it.
Yes, you can feel it. When you try to push it together, you can feel it pushing against itself. That's their towing. Isn't it good to know that such a wise and powerful God is taking care of us? Read the verse with me at the bottom. For by him were all things created, Colossians 1:16. All right, let's do a quick review for the quiz that's going to be on Friday. Let's see how you do. What is the force that pulls objects to the earth?
Gravity.
Gravity, very good. Opposite poles of a magnet.
Attract.
Opposites attract. How many of you heard that before? Opposites attract. All right, so like would repel. A pyramid is strong because it has a wide base. We call it a base, guys, a wide base. Some of you are not paying attention. Do you understand I'm reviewing for the quiz that we're going to have in 2 days? So you might want to look up here at me and pay attention to what I'm asking you. A seesaw is an example of what simple tool? A seesaw was a, say it again? It is a simple tool, but which simple tool is it like? A seesaw is like a what?
Wheel and axle.
No, it's not a wheel and axle. A lever. A seesaw is like a lever because it can make things rise, right? Right? A device that helps make work easier is, somebody say it.
A machine.
A machine, very good. I almost said it myself and I realized an inclined plane is what kind of machine?
Simple plane.
Simple. It's a simple machine. An inclined plane is a simple machine. Also as the lever, we learned that. Actually, no, it's a ramp. I got it. An inclined plane is a ramp, not a lever. Because they are not easily bent, what is used in buildings? What did they say are not
Arches.
easily bent? So you're telling me what? Bridges is something that's built. What do they use in bridges that are not easily bent? Columns. Very good. Columns. Okay, columns are not easily bent. They're used. And because these things are curved, they help spread out the weight.
Arches.
Arches. Very good. Magnets have how many poles?
Two.
North and south. Yeah, 2 poles. And the base of any building that keeps it strong is the, what do you call the base? The other word for a base.
Foundation.
Foundation. Very good. Foundation. All right. And then you will have to, let's look on a certain page, go in your books, turn back to where the simple, page 37. You will need to identify some of these. Now, the answer's already there, but the first one on page 37 is the wheel and axle. The second one is the inclined plane. Then there's a lever. And the next one is a pulley. And the last one is a gear. You will need to know those. So you need to know those simple machines.